everybody. This is video number 6 on the flute family, and we begin with the piccolo. The petite flute, the klein flute, the flauto piccolo, or ottavino. Like the modern flute, its early predecessor was a single-pieced instrument, keyless military fife of the Middle Ages. And then as the instrument acquired more keys in the Baroque and classical eras, German flutist and metalsmith Theobald Böhm gave the instrument a complete makeover of the mechanism, the head joint, and the material. And the modern piccolos are made from a variety of materials, silver, wood, and plastic being the main three, and wood being the most preferred, particularly for concert bands. However, I will say that I have been most impressed with a lot of piccolo brands of plastic piccolos that have a similar woodiness or quality of sound to the wood piccolo that then can also be taken to the outdoors for marching band season. So check out plastic piccolos for your multi-purpose needs in your flute sections. It is the smallest instrument, but it certainly cannot hide in most ensemble groups. Its range is just under 3 octaves. I'm not going to demonstrate a lot on these on the video. I'll demonstrate in class just for the sake of the audio there. And the piccolo found its way into the orchestral world in the early 19th century. I think a little trivia here. What major composer first used the piccolo in a symphony? Beethoven's 5th Symphony, and then later on Beethoven's 9th Symphony. It was also a popular instrument in the late 19th and 20th century concert band setting. And of course, John Philip Sousa's Stars and Stripes Forever being the pinnacle band piece that every summer band program must play. The alto flute, or flute en sol, or flute in G. It is pitched in the key of G, sounding a 4th below the regular C flute, and its characterized sound is a sweet, mellow sound. It is relative of consorts from the Renaissance period, with also a single-piece construction. Just the length of the instrument and the size of the tubing is larger. Theobald Böhm, again, received credit for improving the mechanism of the alto flute. Not as technically versatile as the flute and piccolo due to its big key extension and delayed response, but its range is a little smaller to 2+ octaves. Let me play a little bit of this one. And you can see I've got the straight head construction. I do also have a curved head that I will bring to class. It's basically just trying to help bring the mechanism a little bit closer to the body. It's popular in flute quartets and in flute choir settings, but it does have some prominence in some 20th century orchestral works such as Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, Ravel, Daphnis and Chloe, Holst Planets, Britten's Turn of the Screw, and so I'll demonstrate more on this in class. And the bass flute, it sounds 1 octave below the regular C flute. So it is from low to high: bass flute, alto flute, C flute. There are even what we call tenor flutes, which are pitched in E flat and sit right between the C flute and the piccolo. And this is the bass, and it sounds, like I said, 1 octave below. Its range also too is about 2 octaves plus. Let me demonstrate. That is low C. can see possibly the lip plate here has what we call little wingtips or little arches that really help to channel that airstream a little bit better. And I'm really kind of trying to nestle in up close to those wingtips because it helps me get closer to that blow edge for a quicker, consistent response. In order for Tailbone Boom to construct his mechanism and to be put within reach of the fingers, the metal tubing on this head joint is curved, and that's a standard thing on all bass flutes. We talked about the wingtips, and you might also be able to see here I have what's called a crutch that I seat right below the base of the index finger, but more into the base between the first finger and the thumb, to then extend the fingers a little bit better. And you can see again how the keys are kind of more like key extensions on top of the very, very large tone holes. Again, this is primarily used in flute choir settings, though there are some solo pieces written for this instrument and for the alto flute as well. There are a lot of contemporary specialists out there that use this instrument as well as the contrabass flute amplified to create music and to do all kinds of cool extended techniques. So I'll demonstrate a few things for you in class. The contrabass flute you can see by looking at your handouts. This is a great picture of the contrabass flute. It stands from the floor on a spring, a peg that's spring based, and comes up and sort of around, and you basically walk right up to it to play it. Again, I'll show you a YouTube video of the contrabass flute being played. Matthias Ziegler, the man who was interviewed for this article, is a contemporary contrabass flutist, very well known in Europe. And again, just some information about the contrabass. It's expensive. It's used in a lot of professional flute choirs and orchestras, flute orchestras, but I know Ohio State University just purchased a contrabass flute for their flute choir just last year. So, some colleges have them, but mostly it's professional flute choirs, and quite an amazing sound. So I think that is it. Just encourage you to read the two articles, Piccolo Q&A and Piccolo on the Run, playing in a marching band, so that you can get some insight on Cynthia Ellis, who's a great writer for this category talk pick. And also a Piccolo checklist that I have as well. These are sort of my Piccolo philosophies and checklists, kinds of things that I think would be good for you all to have. And you probably also noticed I have a flute choir library that I'm happy you have it now. It should be in your notebook. I am happy to loan out any flute choir music to your programs should you ever desire to want to borrow any music from the OU Flute Studio. So enjoy exploring with your flute sections some different ensemble music. Okay, thank you very much.